Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Artie Hoffman, and as I promised, I am going to read for a bunch of you people who are now listening and watching, and we're going to give the best reading ever because that's just what I do. So I hope you guys are had a really good weekend, and I just want to thank everybody for all your wonderful support, and also give you a heads up that. If anybody needs any prayers or blessings, any of you who are going into surgery or going through some super hard times, myself, my earth angels, and call out upon the angels up above and ask for their help. Um, you know, Somebody was asking me just this week if I've ever seen an angel, if I have ever seen spirits, if I've ever seen angels. And the one, I just told the story. I know I told the story before, but I'm going to tell the story again because it was just such a powerful moment. So I went into New York City, and I was, handing out, food and water to the homeless people and some money and stuff. And so there was this one fella who was just sitting on the ground, and he was holding up one of those cardboard signs that says he has AIDS and he's starving and can you help me out, blah 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 blah. And and I was handing out money and like I said, food and water and stuff like that throughout the course of the day in Manhattan. So after I gave to this one person, the very last person right before I got to Penn Station, because I was walking around all day and I was around Central Park and stuff. And after I gave it to this one fella, I had a little conversation with God in that moment, and I said, am I really making a difference, or am I just like throwing money away? Am I just like, yes, it's always nice to do good deeds and stuff, but it was a long day and I was doing this for a while. And so when I asked that question to God, am I really making a difference? I want to say within 30 seconds, a handsome black gentleman, very well dressed, came up to me, and he stopped me, and he said, excuse me, sir. He goes, I just want you to know I saw what you did for that one fella. And he goes, I just want you to know you touched my heart, and you really do make a difference. And I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. And, so God and the angels really do hear our prayers when you really need it. And sometimes you think that you're alone, and you're not alone. You're never alone. But it is very important to, just say positive affirmations. So after the gentleman was nice enough to say that to me, I started walking. I said, thank you very much. And he started walking across the street, and I was walking straight ahead on the sidewalk. And I wanted to talk to him again, and I stopped, and it was only a matter of a few seconds. And I looked all around the place, and I couldn't even find the guy anywhere. And, and there weren't a lot of people around, too. So I 100% believe that was an angel that was, that came across my path. And it also happened with my good friend Paul Miller out of Denver. He's a chiropractor and he's a healer, and he donated his time to some people at hospice who was hurting. And so, he gave healing energy to this one fellow who he was visiting who had AIDS. And the doctors said that he only had like maybe a couple of weeks left and to live. And so 2 weeks later, the guy literally walked out of the hospital, and he managed to be there for another year. He ended up living for another year. So when he found out that the gentleman passed away, I don't know how he found out. I don't know if he was just looking at the obituaries or somebody told him. I don't know. So anyway, I think his sister might have reached out to him. So anyway, so he goes to the funeral, and he didn't know anybody whatsoever, and he's at the funeral parlor. And he said there was this one very large black woman who came up to him who he never met before. And said he was standing there by himself, and he was wearing sunglasses. And this black woman came up to him and said, "Excuse me, sir, are you Dr. Paul Miller?" And he goes, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Well, I just wanted to thank you for all your healing energy, and for doing all the good work that you do, and that you made a difference in his life, and that you helped him live another year longer so he could, take care of his personal business that he needed to take care of." And he goes, "That was very generous of you to give your time." And he goes, "Oh," he says, "Thank you very much. That was very nice of you for your kind words." So when the lady left the parlor, she opened up the door and she walked through the doors, literally within a matter of seconds, he ran outside because he wanted to talk to her, because he didn't know who the lady was and he wanted to talk to her. And he ran outside to see her, and it was like a long open parking lot, and she was nowhere to be found. Like, he ran to the right and he ran to the left, and she was nowhere to be found. And he himself also said, "I really believe that was an angel that came to visit him on his behalf." So it's really neat when all of you who have these awesome stories and they're afraid to share it with the public because you're afraid that people won't believe you or people will think you're crazy. And but you know what? If you really believe in God, if you're really spiritual, you'll believe in these stories. And it's okay if other people don't believe it. The thing is, what's real. You know what's real. And our loved ones do come back. And they do, people who have passed away, and they do come back, and they do show us signs. And there's many different ways of how they show themselves when they come back, And I spoke with somebody today, and she said that her son always takes her stuff and moves it all over the place. She goes, he's been doing this for years. And she goes, at first it freaked me out. And she said it was very consistent, but now it's okay. So we want to congratulate Chris Errington. You're our winner for our Facebook Live show. And you've won a free reading with myself. So make sure you give me a call after the show is over, please, or tomorrow. At 732-778-7173. So if you share our Facebook Live show and with your friends and family, you'll get entered into a drawing to win possibly a free half-hour reading. So when you share it, just make sure you do it in a way where you take away the privacy settings so that you can get credit for it, because if you have privacy, we don't know who you are. So, but still, thank you very much for sharing our show. And it's been a blast, and it's been very, very helpful for everyone who has been listening. And I'm amazed. I really am. I'm amazed, and I feel very blessed that all of you who are watching and listening and sharing from around the country and around the world, that you put your faith in me to be able to give you the answers, the quality answers, and the healing that you're looking for. So it's a blessing, and I'm very grateful. So what else was there? Keep your answers, keep your questions specific, and just try to understand that when Allison, reads the questions off to me, it's totally random, and we don't play favoritisms, and it's all good. So we do our best. And by the end of the show, I am going to answer every single one of your psychic questions. And I'm going to be drawing, angel cards. And there's going to be 3 piles. So when you ask your psychic questions, if I can't reach to you personally right now, if you have your psychic questions, just write it down on a piece of paper and write down pile number 1 or pile number 2 or pile number 3. Write down one of them, because I'm going to have 3 separate piles of angel cards, and you are going to pick which pile is going to answer your question, and you're going to see how accurate it is. So it's going to be really cool.
And
all right?
So when we say be specific, it's not, what do you have for me? It has to be a question.
Yeah, it's got to be a question.
Need guidance is not a specific question.
Yeah, it's not specific enough.
So tell them that, because
I'm telling you that. You just said. They hear you. Alan's yelling at all of you right now. Be specific.
I feel bad because it's not a question, and then I have to skip over it. If I get my finger on it and then it's not a question, then it's a waste for them.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I got to check. I got to tell you, myself, Allison, her family members, people have been purchasing these money incense, have been winning money, and has been drawing, getting jobs, and it's really, really works. It smells absolutely amazing. So if you want to draw money and prosperity into your life, give me a call.
And it burns like an hour.
Yeah, it burns like an hour, and you're going to get prayers with it also. I'm going to send you prayers with it also, so you get a pack of 10 of them, and I'll explain to you how much it is when you call me, or you email me at artiehoffman@gmail. Just want you to know, I also do, I do private readings, and I do phone readings. I'm just as accurate over the phone as I am in person. I'm in Woodbridge, and I will travel to your place to do Artie parties, so it's a lot of fun. Everyone's going to get a recording with that also, so it's really, really cool. And I'm telling you, so if you need the extra money and you just got to put a little faith in there and just give it a shot. But the prosperity has been rolling in, and I'm not just joking about it, and I'm not just being a salesperson to you. It really is the truth. So it's been the bomb. Let's see, Allison's son won $5,000 a week or two, was it 2 weeks ago or last week? And I won $1,000 over $1,000 over the last week, and another woman won over $5,000. A couple of weeks ago, she acknowledged the fact that when she burned the money incense, she won a boatload of money. It was like over $5,000 since the beginning of December. So it's cool. But the thing is, when you burn the money incense, you got to do something to try to draw that in too. You can't just say, well, I didn't win anything, but did you play anything? Did you take a chance? Did you take a shot? So you got to give it a shot. All right. So for this show, I'm just letting you know the only reason why I'm holding the phone is because I forgot to get my little doohickey thing that our friend Michelle got me. And I ended up leaving my studio place to come here. And I got my cards and I got a bunch of other things I needed, and I forgot my little holder there.
But you went specifically for the holder.
Yeah, and I go there specifically for the holder. I took a shower, I got the cards, and I freaking forgot that. So, okay. What else was it? Was that it? Was that ever? Oh, also to let you know, next week, all right, Super Bowl Sunday. We're not going to do the show on Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, we're going to do a buy on next week because Allison and I, we're going to be going to Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're meeting a couple friends out there. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun out there. So, and then Tuesday, normally we would do it on Tuesday because we're coming back Monday, but normally we'd come back on Tuesday night and do it, but we're going to we have the blessing of seeing Deepak Chopra.
No, it's this week.
What?
That's this week. That's the 31st.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I screwed up. Yeah, we are going to see Deepak Chopra this Tuesday night. What the heck was I thinking? I'm thinking afterwards, but any case, wait, so...
We'll just be coming back on Monday night, and then it'll be too crazy.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a buy next week, all right? So, and we're gonna start doing our thing that we do right now. So, okay, what do we got?
So this is Aileen Jane.
Aileen Jane, how you doing, Aileen?
Hi, Artie and Allison. Any tips for properly writing down affirmations and intentions to burn on the full moon night on Wednesday? Never really sure if I do it right. LOL, thanks.
That's funny. When you write down your intentions, I always started off with, I call upon all my loving guardian angels. Thank you for, and then I write down exactly what I want. Never write down what you don't want. Just write down what you do want, and you just write it. And don't, you can't feel guilty about asking for what you want.